can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. And after 22 years, Raymond Mark
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here in the Sick Podcast Network. He is Pierre McGuire. I'm Jimmy Murphy. Pierre, how you doing?
Great. My favorite part of the day, being with you, doing this show. I love it every day. Thank you.
Thank you. This feeling is mutual, my friend. And we are hoping, I'm just getting a text from him right now. He's having some issues, but if he can get through, we will be talking to Los Angeles Kings general manager Ken Holland in about 15 minutes. So hopefully we can get that to work for him. But Pierre, a lot of things to talk about around the hockey world. First off, Pierre, before we get into anything, two things I want to mention. You've got a new podcast coming up on the One Team Media. You want to tell our listeners and viewers about it?
Yeah, One Team Media is based out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And this show is going to be about courses in leadership. And we're going to talk to different hockey people once a week. So 4 times a month. Usually we'll tape the shows on Monday and they'll probably run them Wednesday or Thursday. But it's good. Our first guest, the maiden voyage, is going to be this Monday. It's going to be the great captain of the 1980 Olympic team, Mike Eruzione. And the reason why we're doing Mike is because the Olympics are coming. Obviously the Bean Pod is coming up as well. Mike was a big part of Bean Pods at BU. He still works at Boston University. He does amazing work in his community. He's a great social citizen. And he's a picture of leadership. He's the absolute picture of leadership. So Mike will be the first guest on that One Team Media venture, which starts on Monday. I'm looking forward to it. Really grateful for them reaching out and asking me to be part of it.
Awesome. Great stuff. And remember, they've got that Netflix documentary, I think is coming out tomorrow.
I think tomorrow's the blast off for that.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to watching that. Good stuff. Pierre, and before we go on to, I want to just, one of my good friends, Brendan Quinn from Holyoke, lost his brother today. So I want to send condolences out to him and his family, and then rest in peace to Rory Quinn. So
ditto. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you for bringing that up.
All right. So Pierre, we're going to bounce around, but I want to start off, I hate to be nitpicky and stuff, but facts are facts. And I sent you a tweet last night, and it was talking about Jaromir Jagr and Patrick Elias. It was on ESPN, a major network that carries the NHL, and it referred to both players as current Hall of Famers. And I don't know how that slips through the cracks. And I think there just needs to be a little more. Take a minute, Google it up, make sure you're right. I don't know how that gets through, Pierre. And not that I don't think that Jaromir Jagr is going to be a Hall of Famer. He will be, in my opinion, once he stops playing. But that's just tough.
It's unfortunate. Quality control matters a lot. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
Yeah. But that being said, I do think Jagr makes it, and I look forward to that.
Let's put it this way. We just had a big Hall of Fame thing with the coach of the New England Patriots and the current coach of North Carolina.
Yeah.
Belichick. I'd be willing to bet money, and I'm on the committee, so I'm not going to say more than that. I'm willing to bet money that if he's proposed, talking about Jaromir Jagr, highly likely that he'll be enshrined in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
I love it.
Highly likely.
Does he come out for the Penguins thing at the end of March, Pierre?
He's been there a couple times. It depends on whether his team's still playing, Gladno or not. He's got the best job. Well, he's the owner, he's the president, he's the GM, he's a player, and I think he coaches a team too. Uh-huh. He's done an amazing job with Gladno. He really has. Jarmir's a fantastic person. He kind of is quiet publicly, but he's a tremendous guy. He's a lot of fun to be around. The last time I was with him, we had a good time in Pittsburgh. We had a really good time.
Interesting. All right, Pierre. So let's get into some news items right now. Breaking last night from Shen Peng of San Jose Hockey Now. We've had him on the podcast before, Pierre. He reported that the San Jose Sharks are now in on the Artemi Panarin sweepstakes that has now been confirmed by multiple outlets, and that Panarin would be willing to sign an extension. If these reports are true, and I do believe they are, Pierre, this just furthers what we've been saying about the Sharks over the last week, just how great their rebuild has been, that a player that caliber is potentially willing to extend and stay there and grow with those players.
I think one of the really good things that McGuire did is he realized in year one it wasn't going exactly the way they thought it would. They were fortunate, obviously, to land a player as good as Macklin Celebrini.
Mhm.
But before that, they were very fortunate to get a player like Will Smith. So they've done some tremendous stuff. They also, I thought, were really wise in getting Eskatov from Nashville. So they've built up this mini core of young guys. Now they have Sam Dickinson on the back end, another really good young player. I enjoy watching them play. One of the best interviews we had on this show, honestly, Jimmy, in the last 6 months was Ryan Warsofsky, coach in San Jose. And you can see why he's having success. He's not afraid to poke fun at himself. He's really smart in terms of how he delegates authority to his assistants. I think he does a great job communicating different systems that they want to play and how they practice. He's learning about time zone travel, which is really hard to get used to. I think he's a tremendously smart young coach. I really like the way he presents ideology. And so you can see why the players are getting better there. You can see it, why it's happening. So hats off to them. And I think Mike Greer deserves a huge amount of credit because he realized in year one, we might have miscalculated on how we're doing this thing.
Mhm.
They went out and got older guys. They brought in some really good mentors. Toffoli's been good, obviously. Barkley, Goodrow. I know they put Letty on waivers, but Letty's been good. John Klingberg. You look at the older guys they brought in there. They've done a good job with it, Jimmy. They really have. And I'm so happy to see the Shark Tank getting full again.
Yeah.
It's really a cool
Great
building.
place. Yeah.
It's a great place to watch a game. It's a great place to coach in a game. It's a great place to broadcast a game from. I'm really happy for everybody out there. It's great.
Yeah, and that's a good sign that they're becoming a destination team again. And it's interesting too, because I would have figured, Pierre, just based on geography, and the East Coast being closer to Russia, for Panarin, that he would want to go there. But hey, nothing's set in stone yet. But the fact that they are
not
in
that.
conversation-
If you go up and over the pole from San Francisco, not that far.
That's a good point.
Not that far.
So we'll see what happened there. Pierre, another team you and I were talking about today, and not unfortunately in a negative way, and it's just the way their season's going right now. The Washington Capitals seem to be in some trouble, and since we had that conversation, news came out that Logan Thompson is out likely until after the Olympic break. This team is kind of skidded off the tracks here, Pierre, and I don't know what they got to do to get back on. I don't know if this is more a big picture thing or it's just a blip in the season. What's your take on them?
They've had some injury situations. I'm not sure their defense is as good as advertised. Plus the injuries up front. I think guys maybe overcalculated where they were in terms of the hierarchy of the team. So they've got some work to do. I wouldn't be surprised if they got aggressive on the trade market because they've got young assets down in Hershey. They've got some guys that are good prospects. But not making the playoffs for them this year, especially being in a very weak metro, that would be very would not be good. It would.
And can you imagine if they don't make it and the Penguins do?
Yeah, I'd be so bummed.
Well, it's not going to be good for them. Nobody was expecting.
I'd be so bummed, Jimmy. It'd really break my heart.
Speaking of the Penguins, Pierre, it's just they get. Every time you think they're going to fall off the track, they don't, and they just keep going. Yeah, they have some bad games here and there, but it's been fun to watch right now. And I like their chance. I think they're a team. Nobody's really talking about them. I haven't read much about them.
No, because people don't watch them because they right at the start of the year. Where's Crosby going to end up? Malkin's not going to be any good. Letang and Carlson are a disaster. They've got no goaltending. Try watching. Just rather than just formulating hot takes, try to watch.
Yeah.
And they've been good right from opening night. They went into New York and shut out the Rangers opening night of the year. Dan Hughes versus Mike Sullivan. You can't get a more clearly defined coaching matchup in favor of New York because of all the veteran presence, right, Jimmy?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Rangers didn't score a goal.
That was our sign right there. We were waiting.
Jimmy, I'm glad you brought it up. So I'm just going to say it. Please, Ranger fans, ask hard questions. Please, Ranger media, ask hard questions. And one of the questions should be, you went to play the Islanders last night on Long Island. Your season is teetering. It's probably over, but you're still alive. But you're teetering. And you throw up 16 shots on net.
Yeah.
And your end zone coverage is brutal. And your penalty killing is embarrassing, and you throw up 16 shots on net, and there's crickets.
Yeah.
There's
It's
nothing.
they're getting a pretty much a free pass in the Big Apple right
It's
now.
unbelievable.
I mean, if that was in Montreal or Toronto or Boston or Chicago or
Ask the
Detroit,
guys in Toronto how much fun they're having right now.
yeah. Oh boy, let's get to that. Good transition, Pierre. I sent you a link to a story. I don't know if you had a chance to read it.
I have
about
not.
the-
I have not. I apologize.
So-
I have not.
so,
Can I just tell you why? Because Jimmy knows he's my
Yep.
social media guru. I've been working the last 3 days really hard. I've been asked to be part of this group that's doing the 50 top players over the last 50 years in Canadian hockey, so major junior hockey.
mhm.
And Jimmy, I put a lot of time and effort
Yeah.
into it, like a lot. And so that I put my final list in today. I showed it to Jimmy. I read it to Jimmy, and I read it to producer Shane before I sent, or actually after I sent it in. But I'm just telling you, I put a lot of work in it. So that, Jimmy, I apologize. That's why I did not get to your text.
That's no problem. I'll give you the quick skinny here, the cliff notes. Basically, Jonas Siegel of The Athletic came up with a story where he discovered that prior to this season, the Maple Leafs relieved their director of sports science and performance, Jeremy Bettel. Now, of course, not just in the sense the Leafs, like a lot of teams have had injuries right now, but it was just really interesting, and not in a good way, that they would do this right before the condensed schedule, where they knew it was going to be a grind, and they knew that there's going to be a good chance that even the players that are in the best shape are going to break down and get hurt. And it's just another reflection, Pierre, in my opinion. You don't have to say anything. I'm just giving you my straight opinion of how a lot of things have been mismanaged in Toronto this season from the top down.
Did Jonas write whose responsibility that was? Like, who made the decision to do that?
According to him, it was Mr. Brad Treliving. So
I would be, see, that's why I'm not reacting to it one way or the other, because I kind of know what the budgets are for those things. Unless Toronto just blew the budget right out, which I'd be shocked if they did for that position. Like it's a rounding error on their annual budget. Honestly, it is. That's what it is, Jimmy. It's not a big. So I don't know why that would happen. Again, I don't know the article you're talking about. I do know Jonas Siegel. He's an honorable guy. He works hard. He writes good stories.
Wow. Yep.
So I don't think he's making stuff up.
No.
So I don't know, Jimmy. I apologize. All I can say is that it's not if it's just a salary, why they cut the position. I have a hard time believing that, because I can tell you this right now. If you go look at the size of the Leafs scouting department and you look at the size of the Leafs analytic department, I think they'd probably be the largest in the league for both of those positions. And then you combine them. So I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah. And apparently they're not the only team, Pierre. He didn't mention, he said, but they cited that there were other NHL teams that are pulling back on that. So maybe it wasn't strictly from Treliving. He mentioned Treliving making the decision, but I'm with you. I think it would be something where there was influence from above, or from, as you said, the financials of it maybe mattered.
I'm having a hard time. Okay, there are just a couple things to be fair. Canadian dollar versus US dollar. I know the last 10 days US dollars dropped, Canadian dollars gone up. I get okay. But let's just go over a calendar year. It's still the US dollars pummeling the Canadian dollar still. So I get it on currency exchange. I can understand that. In Canada, it's it's Medicare. There's no insurance costs. So it can't be that. I think I'm not going to say what I think the salary is, but I'm a pretty good idea what the salary is. I have a hard time believing that the Leafs would do that just because of finances.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, he points to other cuts within the MLSE umbrella.
Yeah, okay, so that's another part of the story. So
yeah,
but I'm just telling, I have I know how the budget is for a team, and I just have a hard time believing that one.
Yeah, and just knowing what we know, I mean, and I don't, him much better than me, but knowing what we know of Keith Pelly, is he's a progressive guy that thinks outside the box a lot, and that seems like the type of position.
I can just tell you, budgets aren't part of what Keith's worried about. Right? Keith's worried about winning.
Exactly.
And I'm telling you, in anything, I'll never forget the night I won my first Gemini in Canada. I just will tell you, like I know what Keith did and said, and he's all about winning.
Wow.
He wants to win. I'm just telling you. That's what he
Well,
wants to do.
just bigger picture, Leafs in Seattle tonight, beginning that road trip before the Olympic break, and it can't be understated how big this trip is for them, Pierre. The more I think about it, regardless of what happens on this trip, even if they win every game on the trip, if I'm Brad Treliving, I would take the approach that Don Sweeney took to the deadline last year, where you're bringing in some bodies and you're bringing in some picks and you're bringing in some prospects. Mix it up a bit if you can. Don't be a strict buyer. Don't be a strict seller. That's kind of how I look at it if I was him right now, with the position of them in this season and big picture going forward.
Makes sense.
But it's a lot easier said than done, right?
Way easier said than done. If I were Toronto right now, one of the things I'd really focus in on is trying to add youthful enthusiasm. So draft picks, young prospects, replenish, the Marlies, replenish Cincinnati, bring in the proper players for your NHL team, but no, it's going to take time.
Yeah.
I got it wrong. I'm going to tell you, like, I thought this team on paper at the start of the year was going to be better than what it was. I'm not surprised that the Marner stuff has affected them. I know we talked about that at the start of the year, so I don't have to apologize on that one. But I did get the team wrong. I'll tell you that. I did. I thought the team would be a playoff team, and I thought they would have more physicality to them, and I thought they'd be better defensively.
Mm-hmm.
And none of that's held up.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting to see how they approach that. And then, unfortunately, I just got note we're not going to be able to be joined by Ken Holland right now. It just won't work for him, considering where he is right now. He's driving from Toronto to Buffalo. He's at the border. He doesn't want to take the chance. He's going right through the border as we're mid-interview. So he said he will definitely come on with us soon. So we will get Ken Holland here. But his team's another team, Pierre, right? I mean, they're kind of in the same boat as Toronto, where are they buyers? Are they sellers? I lean more with him, and he'd have to tell us, but just my opinion from the outside, I got to think they're buyers, because I got to think that Ken Holland was brought in there for the now, strictly the now.
Oh, yeah, but he's such a good hockey man. I don't get it. Like, I get people in Edmonton were mad when he was there. Kenny was the guy that put all the pieces in place.
Yep.
And he brought serious integrity to that program. He did. He really did. Kenny's a great hockey person. And then you look at, in LA, okay, I know LaFerriere's game probably as well or better than most people.
Mm-hmm.
I had his father and his uncle in hockey camp when they were little boys. And now this kid obviously played at Harvard. I watched him play for 2 years at Harvard. A lot of games against Colgate and a lot of games against Cornell, against real good competition back then. And he's a real good player, but he's not a first-line center in the NHL.
Yeah.
And right now he's playing as a first-line center in the NHL. Like they've had injury situations. Yoel Armia was a fourth-line player for Montreal last year. That's right. He thrived as a fourth-line player and a penalty killer. He's playing as a third-line player in LA right now because they got injured. The Kopitar injuries really hurt their team.
Oh, yeah, because everybody falls out of place.
Yeah, so all the slotting's wrong. Like, Warren Fogel's a good player. I watched Warren Fogle play in New Hampshire, and I watched him play for Kingston in the Ontario Hockey League. Warren Fogel's a good player. He's playing as a second-line player in LA.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not a second-line player.
Yeah.
So they got stuff going on with injury. And I know everybody's mad. Why is everybody going after Drew Doughty? They forget, like, how good Drew Doughty's been.
Oh, my God.
So, like, come on.
Yeah, I wouldn't be going after him. No.
Oh,
sure.
he's there. It's every day. I'm just,
yeah.
Drew Doughty, Drew Doughty's good, man. The things that he did and the injuries he's overcome and the sacrifices he made to play for that team over the course of his career, he's fantastic. He's iconic. He's an iconic player in LA. Iconic.
I agree. All right, let's switch over tonight, Pierre, the Montreal Canadiens.
I'll say one more thing before
Yes.
you do that.
Yes, of course.
I want to make sure I phrase it properly. I watched the Rangers and Islanders really close last night.
Mm-hmm.
Really close. I know they play again tonight.
They do.
And I know that there's some message sending that goes on in those series, just like Washington, Pitt, or Hartford, Boston, or Ottawa, Montreal. I've been involved in all of them. So I get the rivalry stuff. I understand how it works. I don't get why the Rangers don't have more thrust. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Jimmy, like something, and we're not picking on the Rangers. Like, please don't say that we're picking on the Rangers. How, if you're a Ranger fan, can you think that this is a good product right now?
Oh, I don't think
that this is a good product.
All of them do. I don't right
Like,
now.
You've been told one thing, and a completely other thing has been delivered.
Yeah.
But nothing's being said. It's like free pass.
Yeah. It's really interesting. And I like what you talk about when you're in some of these rivalry games like they're in tonight, back-to-back nights. So you would think in most cases, you're right, there would be some response tonight. But I from what we've seen of this Rangers team, unless it's Sam Carrick, I don't see it coming.
Rempe can do it. I know
Rempe can do it, but
and he was running around last night. I get it. And you know what? People can go after him all they want. Rempe's a tough kid. He knows what he has to do to survive in the league. He's a tough kid. I have a lot of respect for him. I know. Look, that's a hard job. Here's what I'd say to everybody out there. If you like the fighting stuff, that's okay. I want you to think about one thing. If you had a son who was playing pro hockey and you had to watch him in a fight in front of 18,000 people and he got knocked out cold, how would you feel?
Yeah.
Next time you see a big fight, let me know how you feel about it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because I can tell you, I got a son that plays pro hockey, and they're fights.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I thought that I could do it when I was a player, that's fine. I'm not worried about that. But when you're somebody's parent and you're watching it,
yeah,
it's a way different thing. And, I respect every single guy that gets a paycheck playing hockey.
Yep.
Every single one of them.
I'm with you on that. But Pierre, I would just say that mentality needs to be more team wide, and that's the problem. It needs to be a collective team toughness in New York. They don't have it.
It's not. Yes, I agree with you. That's a really well said thing by you, and I like that. Let me ask you a question. Can you not coach penalty killing? Can you not coach fundamentals of penalty killing?
Yeah, you can.
Well, why don't the Rangers have them?
That's a good question.
Watch last night. Watch the Palat goal. His first goal as an Islander.
Yep, in his first game.
Playing the bumper. There was no resistance. And I'm good for Palat for scoring. Watch the Barzell goal.
Mm-hmm.
And watch the puck movement. They're making passes through the penalty killing box like there's no resistance.
Yeah. Pierre,
That's
I want
coaching.
I'm not, and I'm not happy with this team, but I'm not trying to make excuses, but I think it does need to be pointed out that for a second straight game, one of their players on the team was held out of the lineup for trade reasons.
No, fair.
And I didn't see the reactions from last night yet, the quotes, but I know when it happened with Susie, that a lot of the players, when it took them by surprise and they admitted they were a bit rattled heading into that game. If you ever been in a situation like that where you found out just before a game that one of your teammates and friends was gone, basically?
I've been in the situation where players knew they were getting traded.
Mm-hmm.
They just didn't officially know.
Yeah.
So
how much does that weigh on?
It does. It does. Yeah, it does. I'm glad you raised it. That's being fair, Jimmy. That's more than fair. But turnaround's fair play too. Karma matters in hockey. So you talked about Susie being traded and the Islanders were upset, the players.
Mm-hmm.
Who leaked it?
Yeah.
Who leaked it, Jimmy?
The Rangers.
The Rangers leaked it.
Yep.
The Rangers leaked it.
Somebody.
Not the Islanders. The Rangers leaked it.
Yep. Yeah. Interesting. That's going to have to stop in New York because it's led to nothing but bad things. And it's been a snowball effect going all the way back, as you said yesterday, to Goudreau. So, all right, Pierre, I want to touch on the Montreal game before we get to our sponsors in the Q&A. As I pointed out to you last night, a lot of the big guys, and it's to me, it's got to be fatigue. They went hard. They went on an amazing run, and they've been kind of up and down in the last 2 weeks. But I think, what was it between, let me find this, between McKinnon, and of course I lost that stat. But the thing was,
Nate was -3 last night. I watched the game.
exactly,
I thought he was -3.
he had no shots, which is,
So
unfair.
can I just say why? Like, real good job with Nick Cousins, Shane Pinto, and Michael Amadio, number 1, and Jake Sanderson, Artem Zub, number 2. Those guys did a great job. And there was one sequence where Tyler Clevin took away time and space, and eventually it leads to a great goal by Ridley Gregg. But Clevin was a big part of separating, Nathan from the puck. Stuff's going to happen on the road. You don't get last change. These guys, Nathan's been grinding like you can't believe. Like, look at his numbers. They're crazy. He had a tough night. I mean, stuff happens.
It happens.
He had a tough night.
So that being said, knowing Nathan McKinnon and how proud he is, and how
he'll bring his A game tonight. He will.
And how much do you think the rest of the team is going to follow with that?
They will. They'll follow. So the big key for Montreal is going to be Matheson and Dobson. Those guys, just what they did to Eichel the other night, they're going to have to do the same thing to McKinnon tonight. You get last change. It's a little easier. They'll be able to control the tempo. You know what Ottawa did really well last night, Jimmy? Of all the things Ottawa did, 4 of their goals were off the stretch pass. 4 of them, including an empty netter by Tkachuk. But this is the best thing they did the whole game, because their penalty killing's toast. It's bad. It's worse in the league. As bad as anybody in the league. They didn't take 1 penalty last night, Jimmy.
Wow.
0 penalties. If you're Montreal tonight, 2 or less.
2 or less.
2 or less penalties.
Pierre said that could be the difference in the game. And I
2
think
or less, because if you give them free time on a power play, see you later, alligator.
And I really do think it's imperative to come out of the first period with a lead, just because they're getting them on the back-to-back there. And by the way, the stat I was looking for, I found it here. So last night, Brock Nelson, Nathan McKinnon, Martin Necas, and Arturi Lehkonen combined for 1 shot amongst all 4.
They had 18 shots for the game.
It's rare that you're
18. They had, like, when's the last time they were under 20?
Right.
Colorado.
Right. So you know what? Get ready for some shots tonight. But I think this is a good test for Montreal. I really do. And I know they're going to be a pissed off team, but I think Montreal can hang with them. I'll get to that in a bit.
Yep.
All right.
Do some advertising here.
That's right. Let's talk about Vago Italian first before I give you my picks. Vago combines old world classics and new Italian dishes for over 23 years. Private dining rooms for any occasion. They are open Monday to Saturday evening and lunch from Tuesday to Friday. They are located at 1336 Green Avenue in Westmount section of Montreal. For reservations, call 514-846-1414. Again, that's 514-846-1414. And, of course, our wonderful friends at Betway, where you can still go all the way with Betway and bet those beauties. And we are still offering that wonderful welcome deal for new members. So go to the QR code right in front of you if you're watching, or go to the members section on the website, fill out your details there, and you'll get up to $300 back on your first deposit. Even if you lose your first bet, $300 back. You must be 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. Always bet responsibly. And this offer is not available in Ontario. All right, Pierre, here's my picks, and I'll go right to that game we were just talking about. I like Montreal to win this game, and I also like it in overtime. So I'm taking Montreal as a slight underdog, and also the game to go to overtime at plus 320 value there. You put those together, you'll get some good money on a little parlay. My other 2 bets are the Bruins hosting the Philadelphia Flyers, also coming in off a game last night where they lost to Columbus. By the way, interesting timing, as Pierre just sent to me. The Flyers put their season ticket renewals out on social today after the way they've been playing lately. I'm not sure about the timing of that.
I like the letter.
It was a good letter. But
great letter.
The timing couldn't have been worse. So the Bruins are hosting the Flyers. Give me the Bruins on the puck line there, -1.5 at plus 142 value. I'm going to go out to Detroit. I like the Detroit Red Wings right now, bouncing back after a loss, facing the Capitals, who we mentioned are struggling. Also, no Logan Thompson. Give me the Capitals on the money line at -120. And then out west, the Ducks go into Vancouver. I like them -1.5 at plus 200. All right, let's get to the Q&A. Renaissance Resistor. I love this question. I saw it earlier. Would Brandon Montour be a good partner for Lane Hudson? If they could get him, yeah. I think so.
I don't.
You don't? Why not?
You force Lane to play on the offside.
That's a good point.
I want Lane on the left side. He's just better on the left side. Brandon knows I like him a lot. He's represented by Matt Cater. I've known him a long time. I think he's a good player. I don't know if he fits with Lane.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Just being frank.
It's interesting though. I never thought about him because he's what, only in his second year of the contract there, right?
Yeah, second year. Because he was part of the first cup. It's his second year of the contract.
Second year there. I don't know if they'd move him that fast. It's interesting though, but something to keep an eye on. All right, next question. Hendricks that can play. I want to clarify a question from yesterday. From your experience, are there examples where firing a coach, even a good one, gave a team a needed reset and others where it backfired? No disrespect intended.
No, none taken. I'll use my situation as an example. I got fired as a head coach in Hartford, and it took 5 years for him to make the playoffs after I got fired. So I don't think that was a good firing, being totally honest with you. I don't, being honest. They would have made the playoffs the next year. Good firing. Deserved to get fired.
Yeah, Pierre would admit it. He would.
I would. I tell you right now.
You gave the great example of a good one would be Berube, obviously, in 2019.
Berube was a really good one.
Yep.
And I don't that's too bad. I mean, it's a tough situation. When Berube took over in St. Louis, it was really good. Darryl Sutter in LA taking over for Terry Murray.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty substantial.
Yep.
Won them 2 cups.
Yeah.
Darryl going into Calgary. Brought them the Stanley Cup final in 2004. Like I can go, if I thought about it enough, I could come up with some good ones. I also know ones where they backfired, like Montreal, Mario Tremblay, somebody I respect a ton. But Mario's coaching situation, Montreal didn't work out very well.
Yeah.
It didn't work out very well.
It's one of those things. All right. And by the way, speaking of St. Louis too, Pierre sent it to me last night. I'd urge people to check it out. Doug Armstrong with some really blunt comments about the state of the team. Frustrating, embarrassing, he said, and also mentioned that he has almost daily meetings with Jim Montgomery. They can't figure it out. I meant to ask this earlier when we were bouncing around the league, Pierre. If you're Jim Montgomery and you hear that, are you worried? No,
I wouldn't. If you're a coach, I can tell you this, and everybody's going to say, oh, that's BS. It's not true. It is true. If you're a good coach, you got a lot of self-confidence. And if you got a lot of self-confidence and you're a good coach, you don't worry about that. Like, they tell you all the time, the best day of your job as a coach in the NHL is the day you get hired because everybody's nice to you.
Yeah.
You go to the press conference, they're nice questions. You go out for dinner with the owners, they treat you great. That's the best day of your job, the first day.
Mm-hmm.
And then even if you win the cup, it still goes gradually down. That's how it is.
All right, let's get on. What do we got for the next question? KQ 4949. Where is Kadri going, and where is Panarin going to go?
I still think Panarin's got a legitimate chance to go to Detroit, unless they were told no chance. I still think that's the best play, and the Rangers could get way more from them than they could from San Jose, unless, and I don't want to say names, there's 1 or 2 names in San Jose. Celebrini's not one of them. Dickinson's not one of them. Mm-hmm. But if San Jose were to move 1 or 2 guys the Rangers might like,
mm-hmm.
and the reason why I say that is Greer and Drury are best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And Greer knows the Rangers lineup, and he obviously knows his own lineup. So,
yeah, the one thing that worries me about Detroit, Pierre, I just don't. Is it seems that Panarin's very, he really wants an extension with this. It has to be part of it. That's the way it seems right now. We already saw Stevie Y veer away from an extension. That's why he maybe didn't get Rasmus Anderson.
Maybe that's why he didn't get Hughes either.
And that's definitely why he didn't get Hughes. That's out there. That's a fact. So that's twice now, right? Is he really going to give an extension to Panarin after he wasn't willing to do it with the other guys?
I don't know. The one thing I'd say is those Russian guys work out in Detroit. I'm just telling you, they do. The Russian guys turn out. I don't know. There's just something about it. They do. Yep.
We'll see what happens. All right. Next question. What do we got? Jerbs, would Kadri be? Oh, we didn't answer Kadri there. With Kadri, where I think he ends up, I don't know yet. That's a big question mark to me. So that's my simple.
I do think he's getting traded, though.
Oh, he's getting traded now, I think, for sure. All right, back to Jerem's there. I think it's the same. Would Kadri be a good fit in Detroit on that second line?
I don't know. I mean, everybody's in a rush to get rid of JT Compher out of that.
Yeah.
You know, even Cop. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I think he's doing fine. I mean, I don't know. I still don't count out Montreal when it comes to Kadri, Pierre. It just depends on what they think Kapanen's ceiling is.
Okay, so I'll ask you this. Like, would Calgary want Kirby Doc?
I think they would. Yep. But
is that enough? One for one?
No, I think it's got to be components. It's got to be a roster player,
Kirby Doc.
So you either go and then your first round pick and a prospect.
No chance. Stop dreaming.
I'm not dreaming. I'm telling you what I think it has to be.
I know, but I'm just telling you, if I'm Montreal, I say thanks for coming. See you later.
You do a second rounder?
Maybe. Not giving up a first rounder. Come on.
No, not in this draft. All right.
Not many draft. Come on. Like that, look at the age, look at the birth certificate of the player. Come on.
Good point. All right, next question. Bill Van Vago. Going back to the Nylander finger fine. Have either of you previously heard of an unsportsmanlike fine for a non-uniform incident?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Next question. Juice. Pierre, with Avalanche wearing their Quebec Nordiques jersey tonight. That's right. Thanks for reminding us, Juice. What was the rivalry between Quebec City and Montreal like back in the day? Go up, look up the Easter game, the Good Friday game.
So one of the cool parts I thought about the rivalry was, especially when Michel Bergeron was involved and Pat was involved, like there was some stuff going on. There was some stuff going on, man. Those guys were tough as nails. Both coaches, the teams had tough guys. It was really good. And it was brewery money. You know, in Quebec they had brewery money, Dow Brewery and even Labatt. And in Montreal they obviously had Molson.
Yeah.
There was
I never got to see one of those.
There was a whole lot more to it than just hockey.
Yeah. That was a great rivalry.
Oh, phenomenal. You know what? It was great. It was so good.
There you go, right? Hendricks, 156 minutes of penalties in that Good Friday.
I love this guy. I love it when Hendricks gets in touch. He's so good.
All right, next question. David Robinson. What's up, Dave? What's Matthew Poitras got to do tonight to stick on the Big B's lineup? He could bump Isumont out of the lineup if he plays well. I agree. Like, I mean, if he can deliver, he'll earn a shot. That's the type of coach Marco Sturm is. But I do wonder, and I said this to Pierre earlier today, I wonder if it's also for other eyeballs to see him right now.
Jimmy broke this story to me very early this morning, just so everybody knows. He was the first guy on it, and I don't know if he's getting any credit, but he should. But he told me this very early this morning. And I said to Jimmy, maybe he's coming up to play, or maybe it's showcase cinema at this time of the year. So we'll see.
It's interesting, too. He just switched agents, so obviously – there's something's gonna budge there. We'll see what happens.
Like, we're not starting a conspiracy, but I'm just saying sometimes that happens. You bring a guy up and it's to show somebody something.
All right, next question. Seamoke, Pierre with Drew Comesso. Good guy. Needing a second contract at the end of the year. Do you, if you're the Hawks, need to give a lengthy recall to see what they have at the NHL level? Having 3 is not ideal.
No, I don't think Drew needs that. They know what Drew is. Ronnie Anderson's a scout in Massachusetts. It was a big part of Drew getting drafted before he went to BU. I watched Drew a lot play prep school hockey in Boston. I watched him play for the South Shore Kings. He's a very talented kid. He's play with Matty Beniers before they went to prep schools, and then obviously the national development team. But no, Drew, I don't think Drew I think they know what Drew is. And if you had a combo, you know, Drew, Comesso, and Spencer long term, that's not so bad. I know they've got, you know, Soderblom and other guys there, but Drew's a really good player. He's a talented kid.
What was that prep school you went to, Pierre?
Oh, you stop that St. Sebastian stuff.
Next question.
You stop that. You don't even need an ID to go to school there. I'm only joking. One of the former headmasters, a very good friend of mine.
Yes, it was my headmaster. Will Burke. All right. Back in my day, you didn't. It's a lot better.
Billy's a good. Well, he's not there anymore, but Billy's was a great educator. Great educator.
Good English teacher. JB, can we get thoughts on Doughty's future if the Kings fall out of the wild card race prior to the trade deadline? Would he be a Hudson pairing fit? Man, a lot of people looking at Hudson.
No, that was so. I would be JB. I would be on that one. I'm telling you,
that would be something, huh?
That would be. I just don't think that. I don't know if that would happen, but that would be a good one.
Yep.
That'd be a good one.
He's the type of guy I love to see come to the team. It doesn't have to be Drew Doughty, but somebody of that caliber with that.
Well, somebody's got cred. You know, they got winning cred. They come in like I said this to Jimmy before. 2 World Juniors, 2 Stanley Cups, 2 Olympic golds.
Yeah. I mean, what do you want? You know, it's perfect for where Montreal is right now. Somebody like that would be perfect. All right, next question. Justin W. Doughty has another year after this. Modified no trade with 17 list. Right shot, 6'1". What are your thoughts statistically? Another question for that. Yeah. Kings are in the thick of it, but they need centers.
They do need centers. He's absolutely right. That's why I talked about LaFerriere before. He's not a number 1 center in the league, and he's more of a winger than a center. Byfield's a good 2. Armia is a marginal 3. He's more of a winger than a center. Hellenius is playing in the 4-hole right now. So,
do you think Byfield is his ceiling a 2, Pierre, or is his ceiling a 1?
He's an elite 2. You can get away with him as a 1.
All right.
But he's an elite 2.
Gotcha. All right, next question. Habs for life. What are the Penguins' needs via trade? Would Evander Kane fit?
I'd like to see Pittsburgh add another grinding forward. Somebody that can
I think that's
stabilize games if they have to play Washington. And I don't mean fighting, but I mean if Tom Wilson's going to go after your guy, we got another guy that's going to go after your guy. And I don't mean fighting. I just mean physicality, just a grinding, pugnacious kind of player.
Yep.
So that's what I think Pittsburgh needs. That what Todd Nelson's done and Mike Stothers has done with that defense, you think about the internal improvement of all their defensemen, starting with Ryan Shea and moving up the lineup. Wotherspoon has been fantastic. Look at Christopher Letang this year compared to the previous 3 years. Look at Erik Karlsson this year compared to the previous 2 years. Like I can go down the line with all the guys there. They've all improved on the back end, all of them.
Yeah, and it's because they've got guys to complement them on the other side, Pierre, on the back end.
It's 100% true.
Perfect fits. And by the way, too, I agree with you on what Pittsburgh needs. Truculence, as Mr. Brian Burke would say, right?
Berkey's up at, hey, for those of you in northern British Columbia, spoke to Berkey yesterday afternoon. He's up in Prince George, British Columbia, giving a speech in northern British Columbia University, I think it's called.
Nice.
He's giving a speech up there. So I said to Berkey, stay out of the keg. Every time I'd go there, I'd always go to the keg for dinner. And I say, hey, is the Sandman Hotel still there? He goes, oh, Pierre, I'm looking at it right now. I used to stay there all the time.
All right, next question. JRB, what does Buffalo do with Alex Tuck? Good question. They have to keep him. If he doesn't sign an extension,
I know.
I want him to sign, but if they don't, I just keep him for the ride and deal with it later.
Oh, my gosh. If they're not going to sign him, I give up.
Yeah.
Like, you look at the line right now with Benson, Thompson, and Tuck. Sign him, please.
What do you think he gets on the open market, though, Pierre?
He's from Syracuse. Jimmy, he's from Syracuse, New York. He likes Central and Western New York.
He loves it there. You're right. Yeah. He's willing to take a discount for sure.
Just sign him. Right. Yarmo will sign him. They'll get him, I think.
Next
I hope they do.
What do we got? Marco BG. Hey, Jimmy and Pierre. Hey, Marco. Can you explain why Montreal doesn't let Lane Hudson take the puck in on the power play? They always try to drop back play, and it leaves everyone stuck at the blue line waiting.
That's just their organizational philosophy. That's how they're running it right now. So,
all right. Next question. Luke Bailey. Good afternoon, gentlemen. What makes Detroit so good at winning battles in their own end other than size on the back end?
They are big. They're big. And you look at all their guys. See what they did with Sherratt? They just signed Sherratt to an extension. He's a big guy. You know, you look at Edvinson when he's healthy, big guy. Moritz Seider, big guy. They got big guys back there. They don't have any small guys. They're big. They're a big team. And I think Todd McClellan has done a really good job coaching that team. But the unseen hand on that team is Trent Yanni. Trent Yanni coaches their defense, and he's been in the league a long time. And I think Trent's really an underappreciated coach in the league. I think he's a really, really good coach.
All right, next question. Tag N2H. Rangers management threw in the towel for this year. How would you expect players to respond with pride?
The way they are right now. 16. All I can say is the numbers don't lie. All these analytic people out there, here's a number that I will respect. 16 shots on goal last night at NY against the Islanders.
In a rivalry game.
16 shots.
Yeah. I mean, I get, why the questionnaire thinks maybe they're not going to respond, but some of these guys are fighting for jobs. People forget that all the time.
Every one of them's fighting for Pat Verbeek. I'll never forget this. And Pat and I didn't get along on a lot of stuff, but we did on this, and I always will appreciate him for that. He was telling guys probably the last 10 games we weren't going to make it, and we knew it, that they were all playing for jobs. I didn't have to say it because he did as a leader. And, if you look at, we won our last game of the season. We beat the Boston Bruins in Boston, a good Bruins team. Jimmy, you know that, a real good Bruins team. And what happened was instead of them playing Washington, they had to play Buffalo in the first round because we beat them.
They got swept in Mayday.
That was the Mayday goal. Mm-hmm. And they lost. A really good Bruins team went out in the first round.
President's Trophy.
And it's because I'm convinced to this day they lost the last game of the year on home ice.
They did not want Buffalo.
And Verbeek deserves a lot of credit. He's a guy. Hey, look, I pushed some buttons too, but he's the guy, peer pressure-wise, he held the guy's feet to the fire. I'll always appreciate Patty for that, always.
All right, next question. What do we got? Mr. White. Hey, Mr. White. My Devils are looking at another top 10 pick, unfortunately. Who should they target in the draft? I like Ethan Belchetz. Or should they package that pick in a core player to shake things up?
I wouldn't be packaging anything. I'd be trying to draft players. We're going to break down. We're not ready to do that yet in terms of the draft. We'll be more ready for that probably around late April, early May. That's when we did it last year, I think. Mm-hmm. So we'll be more ready for that then. So I can't tell you who they should target. But what I would say is they've got a limited prospect pool down in the American Hockey League in Utica. And so they need to start replenishing. They really do. They need to start replenishing a lot.
All right, next question. Luke Bailey, considering the Leafs are likely not adding, we don't know that yet, Luke, but who would be another good fit for Luke Schenn at the deadline? I do think he ends up somewhere.
Vegas would be good.
Ooh. Man, they don't have enough good defensemen? Well, some of them are hurt.
You want to win, you got to get guys. Tampa, he could go back to Tampa.
I was just going to say that.
Go back to Tampa.
Nobody's talking about Tampa right now.
Tampa's just laying in the weeds.
Exactly.
You're not to say the name, but you know that I was talking to an upper echelon person there the other day. They're just laying in the weeds.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa's good. Well run.
Yep.
Mr. Vinnick still got some life left in him as an owner.
Yep.
Eventually he's out not too long down the road, but as long as he's there, I got total confidence in their group.
All right, and they get the big outdoor game, Stadium Series
against the Bruins
on Sunday. It's supposed to maybe snow in Tampa on Saturday night.
Nonsense.
That might mean snow for you. All right, next question. What do we got? I think it's Ethan. Ethan, is Werenski your Norris favorite? Can't imagine where they'd be in the standings without him. Hopefully they can make a playoff push.
Yeah, he's in the discussion for sure. McCarr's in the discussion for sure. I would say that Sanderson should be in the discussion,
Mm-hmm.
Those are probably most of the guys that you should be thinking about. Who?
Lane Hudson?
I'd have him in the discussion.
I have him in my discussion for sure.
For sure, I'd have him in the discussion. Morrissey, right. I wish Winnipeg was doing better. Morrissey's actually playing well.
Yeah.
But not getting, just the team's not playing well enough.
All right, next question. Marvin Matthews, Pierre, do you think Zane Paré and Steve William are comparable, and do they have similar deficiencies?
Well, Marvin, that's a good one because I do think they're similar. They're both offensive guys. There's high-risk players. They like to gamble. They win on the gamble more than they lose. but when they lose badly. It's a great comparable. Really good. Very, very good.
All right, next question. Rocky IV, Rocky 4. Could Ryan Strome be a buy low candidate for Montreal?
He could, but why would Anaheim want to?
He was out. His name was out there earlier in the season.
Why would they want to move him now?
Yeah, I don't think they want to move him now.
I mean, they might, but I don't. Why would they? That's the only reason I'm asking.
Unless they have to move out space to bring somebody in.
For what?
I don't know. They're just saying, maybe they got their eye on something bigger. Who
You gotta
knows?
trade players to get something bigger.
All right, next question. Daniel Duran. Pierre, would Max Domi be a good energy play, big partner for Suzuki and Caulfield?
I don't see Maxey as a top 6 guy. I like Maxey a lot, but deeper in your lineup, I don't see him fitting there. I would have no problem having him come back to Montreal. I just don't see him fitting on that line. I know sporadically with Matthews he's done well, but he's not Mitch Marner.
No.
So I just don't see it. If you were to ask me, who's the perfect guy to play in that line? I'd say Mitch Marner. Don't you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Put Marner with Suzuki and Caulfield and see how many points they put up.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't go after him. I think he gets moved though. Next question. Formosan Moose, could the Habs get Timo Meier out of Jersey? And if so, would he fit well stylistically with Nick and Cole?
Timo Meier could fit there.
Interesting.
Timo could fit there. He's a bigger body, he gets in that. He's not as nasty as some people think.
Mm-hmm.
I've done a lot of his playoff games when he was in San Jose. He's a good hard player, but he's not, I've heard people say, oh, he's a nasty guy. He's not that nasty, but he's a good player. He could fit with those guys. Yeah, he would. I don't know what the price point would be on that though to get him.
Yeah, I wonder what he has left.
I think Jimmy, what's he got left on contract time? I think he's got substantial time left.
Let's see. Yeah, he's only in the 3rd year of 8-year deal.
Yeah, he's got substantial time left. So I can't see that being something Montreal would want to get involved with. I just don't think.
Yeah. And he's already 29. So,
yeah.
All right, next question. The MTL agent. If someone were looking to get into hockey with a strong sales background, how do they do it? I guess is what the question is.
Start writing letters.
Yep.
Go to a lot of games, like not at the NHL level, but go to the American Hockey League games. Go to an East Coast League game. Go hang around. In different rinks in the summertime where they're going to be pro guys skating.
Yep.
I don't know the market where you live, the person that asked the question, but if you live in Montreal, there are plenty of rinks where there are a lot of pro guys hanging out. There are a lot of gyms where pro guys hang out. Just get out there and start doing it. That's the best way to do it.
All right, next question. Fofam, Pierre, what do you think of converting Arbor to play 4th line winger and replacing him with Perico of St. Louis to play? And that would be something.
That would be really good. That would be excellent.
Yeah.
And you can't get a nicer person as a player and a leader and a teammate than Colton Parayko.
Yeah.
He's a tremendous. I think I told this story once. I think it was his first year in the league. We were in Minnesota. They're playing Minnesota in the playoffs. And I see him in the hotel lobby. He's got all these books with him. I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm about to take an economics exam. I go, what? He goes, yeah, and he's my proctor. And it was the PR guy from St. Louis who was his proctor, and he was taking the exam in the lobby of the hotel.
That's
he's a great kid. He's a fantastic kid.
All right, next question. Dad's Habs. Hey, Jimmy and Pierre, question. What happened to the Rangers? This is a very, very huge collapse into this franchise. Do you think things would have been different if Gorton wasn't let go? Yes. That's exactly what happened.
Yes, and John Davidson and Jeff Gorton did not deserve what happened to them.
No, not with the way it happened. It was not good. All right, next question. Derek Rendell. Pierre, do you think Carey Price would consider a Habs goalie coach position after his expiring contract on June 30th?
Hard. Carey's living out west as far as I know.
Seems pretty happy out there.
I think he's pretty happy. Yeah. I told Jimmy this a long time ago. My biggest fear about this next generation of hockey people, the players have made so much money that to go do those jobs are great jobs. Please don't get me wrong. I loved my working life in the NHL. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I would do anything to do it. But when you're at a point financially where you don't need to worry about the money and you want to dedicate a lot of your life to your family, you don't want to be moving coast to coast all the time. It's too hard.
Yeah.
I've been so grateful to my wife and my children for all the support. I for 16 years, I wasn't home at all. Like I'm being honest. It's painful to talk about, but I'm just telling the truth. And the last 2 years, I've had some pretty unique opportunities to go to some different places. And I told my wife, this is her time. Told my kids, that's it. I'm going to hang for you guys. And that's what I've done the last little while.
Yeah, and just getting back to Price too, he does just seem he wants to live his life with his family, kind of stay out of the spotlight.
Yeah,
Pierre.
I think that'd probably be good now.
He could be a good consultant over the phone. I'm sure he'd help that way.
I think they could fit that in. The consulting position would be good. Yeah, I agree with that. Yep.
All right, next question. What do we got? David Robinson. Any good Owen Nolan memories for you guys? Still maybe the only Irish-born NHL player. I believe he is.
He is from up north.
Belfast.
He was one of the owners of the Giants.
That's right.
He was one of the owners. Well, I have a good one. Gordon Miller and I were doing a playoff series in San Jose, and Owen and his brother owned a bar in San Jose proper. And we went in there one night after a game, and we had a nice chat. It was good. One of the highlights, I think, of Owen's career was a San Jose All-Star game where he called his shot.
Yeah.
He pointed top corner, and then he stuck it. I think it was against Hasek, if I remember. I think it was against Dominic Hasek, if I remember correctly. But, yeah, good stories about Owen. He was a good player. He was the first player picked in the 90 draft. So if you do the top 5 in 90, it was Owen Nolan 1, Jimmy. You don't even have to go on your computer, I'll tell you. Owen Nolan 1, Peter Nedved to Vancouver 2, Keith Primo to Detroit 3, 4 was Mike Ricci out of Peterborough to Philadelphia, and 5 was a guy named Jaromir Jagr to Pittsburgh. And the 6th pick went to the New York Islanders.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm looking at it, but so it's not fair.
It's okay.
Scott Sissons.
Correct. And how many games did he play in the NHL?
He wound up playing 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
2 games. Wow.
So if you look at 1 through 5,
yeah,
like we're talking thousands of games.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It shows you how fickle the draft can be, because you know who got picked after Scotty Sissons?
Darryl Sador.
Correct.
And Darian Hatcher.
Correct.
Yep. Wow. And that draft was Brad May, speak of the devil.
But you see what I'm saying, how fickle the draft can be?
It's
amazing. It's amazing. Like just to show you that we had our last meeting at the Pan Pacific Hotel before we went to the draft. It was at the football stadium in Vancouver, the Dome Stadium. It's the largest draft ever, 50,000 people. Wow. 50,000 people are at the draft. And Scotty asked me in front of Craig and Bob, so Pierre, who's the best player this year? And I said, it's not even close. It's Jaromir Jagr. And so we're walking. Jimmy knows the story. We're walking down. If you've ever been to the Pan Pacific, you take the elevators down and then you get off and you got to take escalators down like 1 or 2 floors. So we get to the escalator and he grabs the back of my jacket and he says, you better be effing right, because if not, you're going to have the shortest career of all time.
Well, you were right. You were right.
No, a lot of people knew how good he was, but I was pretty sure of my opinion, and he just said, you better be effing right.
There you go. And you were. All right, next question. Simo. Okay, Simo. Pierre, what do you see the difference in Columbus with Bonus at the helm? Seems like they have cleaned up their D-zone coverage and in front of their net chances. I
think the players are just happy to have Rick because he communicates well. I read something about that the other day. I think it might have been Werenski that said that. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't mean that Dean Evason's not a good coach. It's just it's a different way of presenting a message, and maybe that message that Rick presents is probably more amenable to what the players there like. Not every team's the same. Hey, Rick had a hard time in Winnipeg. Yeah. Rick had a hard time in Dallas. Yeah. You know, like every team's got different personalities, so you kind of have to find the fit. And he's such a veteran presence. Rick's been around a long time. you know, I was a head coach against them. I coach against them.
Right.
You know,
92 conference final. All right, next Wales conference final then.
Yeah.
Next question. Hockey Junkie. Pierre, if you could acquire one player who could realistically be available into this Habs lineup to help get them into a playoff mode, who would it be? Thanks for all you guys do. Thanks, Hockey Junkie.
I love the question.
Hmm.
Can I get Mikko Rantanen?
If he
Well,
was
no, if he was, I mean, he would be
available.
Mikko would be a good fit. I don't think I can get him though.
Well, it was under the radar, but I suggested it the other day, Pierre. I still like the idea of White Cloud if he becomes available.
Well, yeah, but I'm telling you, they got a hole to fill with Slavkat or with Suzuki and Cole. So that's why I said, could I get Mikko? But I mean, he's clearly not going to be traded. I'm just going around the league. I don't want to sell anybody short.
Yeah.
What about Blake Coleman at Montreal? Like, he's legitimately in play.
Mm-hmm.
He's won the Stanley Cup.
Wait until after the break, but that won't matter.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He'd be a good pickup, Blake. Like, I'm being realistic now. Rantanen's a pipe dream. He's never happening. But yeah.
Anybody on Vancouver?
I'd like Brock Besser, but Brock's hurt. I have no idea. I like Brock a lot.
What about Connor Garland?
I like Connor a lot. I don't know if Connor
fits where they're going.
Fits what Montreal's trying to do.
Contract's tough.
I
bad hit.
I know Connor really well too as a person, and I really like him. He's got intensity. Like, I love his intensity. I really do. His intensity is really good. I just don't know if he fits with what they're trying to do.
What about Jake DeBrusk?
This is for those out there that don't think he can play on the offside. Go watch the tape of the Bruins versus Toronto when Boston knocked Toronto out.
Yep.
Jake was playing right wing, not left wing. He'd be good, and I think he might need a change of scenery.
There you go. That might be feasible. All right, next question. Bill Van Vagel. If Thompson can't make the Olympics, it would be a huge blow for Canada. You're right. Who's up next?
I'd say one of the Woods, but probably Blackwood, either Wedgwood or Blackwood. But those are all good names.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be Aiden Hill, and I don't think it'll be Stuart Skinner.
But Skinner has been great since he got to Pittsburgh.
Oh my gosh! Well, part of it's because of the freaking defense of Pittsburgh.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Amazing what happens when you have a good blue line in front of you. All right. Next question. Hendricks again. There are legendary stories of players competing while injured. Shea Weber comes to mind. Who are some players you saw play through injuries and demonstrate remarkable toughness? I would have to think, Pierre, one would be 66.
Mario Lemieux, for sure. Shell Samuelson. We won the 92 Cup, and Shell would have me come in, just Shell and I and the trainer and the doctor. There were 4 people in the room, and he would get a needle, would start here, and it would go to there. And they put it in, and he would scream, and he would grab my arm. Like, I had bruise marks.
Wow.
On my arm with his free hand. Like, he's about as tough a guy as I've seen. Alfie was really tough. I saw Recchi play with double pneumonia.
I was just going to mention.
He never missed a game.
So 2009, Pierre, say second round against Carolina. It was Rex's first season with the Bruins. You remember kidney stones. He passed kidney stones.
Red Fisher grabbed me one night. The late Red Fisher. We were in Montreal. I was working on the radio then.
Yeah.
And Red grabbed me. He says, "Hey, I got to talk to you." And he was a tough guy, Red. And he was a lefty too. Like, if he was mad at you, he'd give you a shot with the left hand. And so he grabbed me, and we're standing in the press box in Montreal. You know how it looks over the rink.
Yep.
And he goes, "You better talk to your buddy." I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Your buddy Recchi." I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "I just heard from the doctor. He's got double pneumonia, and he's still playing hockey."
Wow.
I go, "Are you kidding me?" He goes, "I'm freaking telling you, Pierre, I'm doing you a favor. Like, you should go talk to him." So I said to him, "Are you sick?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm really sick." I go, "What's wrong?" Like, stop. He kept playing.
Yeah, man.
That's a great Hendricks. His questions are good. They're
and
good.
Pierre,
Good storylines.
You remember 2013 Bruins Hawks and Patrice Bergeron. You worked that.
Hey, Isn't that when the year got married too, and he couldn't walk down the aisle, or he had like a separated shoulder?
Yep. Yeah. Punctured lung.
Mario's, I can tell you right now, we had to hire a young man to tie his skates before games because he couldn't bend over to tie his skates.
Unreal. All right, next question. Juice, Pierre, where does Nick Suzuki rank among centers in the NHL?
He's a top 12 player in the league at that position. Top 12. That's a lot. Look at there are 32 teams in the league. He's a top 12 player.
All right, next question. Gerbs, how do retooling and rebuilding teams keep younger players happy that might not want to be part of a rebuild? Example, Will Cooley with the Rangers.
Oh, man. I don't know if he's not happy or not, but if you're not, you're nuts. Most important thing is getting a lot of ice time.
Yep.
Putting up numbers. Your time will come. Look at what Mario went through in Pittsburgh. From the time he was drafted in '84, Jimmy, to the time he played for Badger starting in the 90-91 season, they weren't winning anything.
No.
And then look at what happened after they got the right people there.
Yep.
Ba-boom.
Yeah, amazing. All right, next question. Ethan Russell, if Ottawa keeps it going, could you see Falk? Good fit. Great game to watch last night. Yeah, good call.
Yeah, and good point by you, Ethan. Right-hand shot. Justin Falk fits in. No disrespect to Nick Jensen. He goes in and replaces Jensen. He plays with Tommy Shabbat. It's a great call by him. I think the biggest thing is they need right defense in Ottawa. They do. They need right defense.
All right, next question. Derek Rendell scenario. Habs beat the Avs with Dobis. Does he play Saturday night?
Yeah, you keep playing him. Yes.
Ride him.
Yep.
All right, next question. I think that's done. Yeah, that's it. Great questions today. Good stuff.
Every day. Our listeners are so good. They're so smart. I love it. Thank you. Yep. This is the most energizing thing. I'm so appreciative. Thank you. I love it.
Favorite part of the day. And Kenny Holland did text me again. Says, don't worry, we'll make it happen soon. So we'll get him on here soon. Pierre, as we always do, we already pre-recorded on campus, so we won't be live tomorrow. So if you're there watching, that's why you can't ask questions. Just a reminder there. Great guest, Pierre, one of your good friends.
Who's that? From this morning, you mean? Yes. When we taped it? Oh, Dougie Dara.
Yes.
Yeah, Dougie's good. Women's coach at Cornell. What a player. What a good player. What a good coach. What a good person.
Yep. Great.
He's cheating the medical profession. He should have been a doctor, but now he's a hockey coach.
It was good stuff. Good question there. So we had a great time with him, and want to remind everybody, speaking of Cornell there in the ECAC, we'll be there for the ECAC Women's in the beginning of March, and then a few weeks later, we'll be back up at Lake Placid for the men's tournament. They were really excited to have the women's tournament there for the first time in Lake Placid. We're excited to be there to broadcast from there for the whole week. Thanks to Shane working the boards. Thanks to all our listeners and viewers. We will talk to you live next Monday here on Beanpot Monday, by the way, on the eye test on the Sick Podcast Network.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the eye test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.